Picture this. You are driving on a perfectly clear day, following every rule, staying within the speed limit, indicators on, mirrors checked, and then you get pulled over. The officer walks up to your window, asks a simple question, and within minutes you are handed a fine. Not because you were speeding, not because you ran a red light, but because you did not have a specific item in your car that you probably never even knew you needed. That fine? £300. Gone. Just like that. This is not a scare story. This is happening to drivers right now, all across the United Kingdom. And the worst part is that most people do not even know these rules exist. Whether you have been driving for 2 years or 20 years, this video could save you serious money, and possibly your license. So stay right here, because what I am about to share with you is something every single UK driver needs to hear in 2024 and beyond. Welcome back, and if you are new here, this channel is your go-to source for everything that matters to UK drivers. From changes in the highway code to money-saving tips, road safety updates, and legal advice you can actually use. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that has been causing a lot of confusion, frustration, and unfortunately a lot of unnecessary fines across the country. New road law guidance has been reinforced and in some cases updated, and it directly affects what you must have with you every single time you get behind the wheel. We are talking about must-carry items, things that certain drivers are now legally required or strongly advised to keep in their vehicles at all times. And the consequences of not having them range from a verbal warning all the way up to a £300 fixed penalty notice, points on your licence, and in serious cases a court summons. Let us get into it. First, let us talk about your driving licence. This sounds obvious, but you would be surprised how many people are caught out by this. While in the UK you are not technically required to carry your physical driving licence with you at all times when driving, you are required to produce it when asked by a police officer. If you cannot produce it at the roadside, you will typically be given an HORT1 notice, that is, a producer, which gives you 7 days to take your licence to a police station. Fail to do that, and you are looking at fines and potential prosecution. If you have a provisional licence and you are driving supervised or on the road in any capacity, having that licence accessible is absolutely essential. Keep it somewhere safe but reachable. It is a small habit that can save you a world of trouble. Now let us talk about something that catches thousands of drivers off guard every single year: insurance documents. Again, in the digital age, many of us assume that because our insurance is active, we are fine. And in most circumstances, the motor insurance database will confirm your cover if you are stopped. But here is the thing: if there is any discrepancy, if your details are not correctly registered, or if you are driving a vehicle that you have recently purchased and your policy has not yet updated, you could find yourself in a very difficult position. Officers can and do issue fixed penalty notices for driving without insurance, and those fines start at £300 and come with 6 points on your licence. That is before we even get into the possibility of having your vehicle seized. Keep a copy of your insurance certificate, or at the very least have your insurer's app or digital copy ready to access quickly. Now, here is where things get really interesting, and this is the part that many drivers in the UK are completely unaware of. There are specific items that are not just recommended, but are increasingly being enforced in the context of road safety law, and failing to carry them in certain circumstances has legal consequences. Let us start with warning triangles and emergency equipment. While the UK does not currently have the same mandatory requirements as mainland Europe, where warning triangles, high visibility jackets, and first aid kits are compulsory, the rules on UK roads are changing in their application, especially for certain categories of drivers. Commercial vehicle drivers, drivers operating under specific operator licenses, and those crossing into EU territories post-Brexit are required to carry warning triangles and safety equipment. But here is what the average driver does not realise. Under the Road Traffic Act, If you are involved in an incident or your vehicle breaks down and you fail to take reasonable steps to warn other road users, you can face prosecution. Having a warning triangle in your boot is one of the easiest ways to demonstrate that you took reasonable precautions. Failure to do so in the wrong circumstances could be classed as careless or even dangerous road behaviour. High-visibility jackets are another item that is moving rapidly toward a de facto requirement for UK drivers. In the aftermath of Brexit, driving in Europe now requires UK motorists to carry a high-vis vest that is accessible from inside the vehicle, not buried in the boot. That distinction matters. If you have to get out of your vehicle after a breakdown or accident on a European road and you cannot quickly access your high-vis, you face on-the-spot fines in countries like France, Spain and Germany. Back home in the UK, while it is not yet a legal requirement for every driver, guidance from the DVLA and road safety organisations strongly recommends that every driver keeps a high-vis jacket inside the cabin, within easy reach. As road law continues to align with European safety standards in certain respects, it is only a matter of time before this becomes a formal UK requirement too. Get ahead of it now. Let us talk about dash cams and the legal position around them, because this is a genuinely grey area that is causing confusion. Dash cams are not a legal requirement in the UK, but their footage is increasingly being used as evidence both for and against drivers in insurance disputes and criminal investigations. Here is the thing that many drivers get wrong. If you have a dash cam fitted and it is not positioned correctly, for example, it is obstructing your view of the road, you can be pulled over and fined for having an obstructed windscreen. That is up to a £1,000 fine and 3 points. If you are going to use a dash cam, and you absolutely should, make sure it is fitted in a position that does not obstruct your line of sight, usually behind the rearview mirror on the passenger side. Store your footage regularly, back it up, and know how to access it quickly if you need to submit it to police or your insurer. Mobile phone laws deserve a mention here, because the rules were significantly tightened in March 2022, and many drivers still do not fully understand the scope of the change. You cannot use a handheld mobile phone while driving for virtually any reason, and that includes scrolling, taking photos, and even checking the time. The exemption for using a phone while stationary in traffic was removed. You now need to be safely parked with the engine off. The penalty is £200 and 6 points, and for new drivers who are within 2 years of passing their test, 6 points means an automatic licence revocation. You would have to resit both your theory and practical tests. Keep your phone in a cradle if you need it for navigation, or better yet, set it up before you start the engine and leave it alone. Let us now talk about something that is becoming an urgent issue for drivers across the UK: the legal requirement to ensure your tyres are roadworthy. This is not new law, but enforcement has noticeably increased. Each tyre on your vehicle must have a minimum tread depth of 1.6 millimeters across the central 3/4 of the tyre and around the entire circumference. Driving on illegal tyres is a serious offence. Each illegal tyre carries a fine of up to £2,500 and 3 points on your licence. That means if all 4 tyres are illegal, you are looking at potential fines of £10,000 and 12 points, which is an instant ban. Check your tyres regularly. Use a 20p coin. If the outer band of the coin is visible when inserted into the tread groove, your tyres are below the legal limit and need replacing immediately. Eyesight is another area that is getting renewed attention from traffic enforcement. The law requires you to be able to read a standard number plate from 20 metres away. Officers can and do conduct this check at the roadside. If you fail it, you will be required to stop driving immediately, and you face a fine of £1,000. If you normally drive with glasses or contact lenses, you must wear them whenever you are behind the wheel. Driving without your corrective lenses when you need them is a criminal offence. Simple as that. If you have not had an eye test recently, book one. It is free on the NHS in certain circumstances and costs very little privately. Do not risk your licence, or more importantly, other people's lives over something this simple. Now, let us circle back to the £300 fines that we mentioned at the start, because it is important to be specific about what triggers them. Fixed penalty notices of £300 can be issued for a range of offences, including driving without due care and attention, using a mobile phone while driving, failing to comply with traffic signs, driving with defective equipment, and in some cases, failing to provide documentation or information when legally required. These fines can be issued on the spot. You do not always get a warning. You do not always get the benefit of the doubt. Officers have discretion, but the law is the law, and the more you know about it, the better positioned you are to protect yourself. Here is a practical checklist of what every UK driver should have in their vehicle right now. A valid, up-to-date MOT certificate. Yes, keep a copy in your car, even though it is digitally registered. Proof of your insurance, either digital or printed. Your photocard driving licence details should be accessible. A warning triangle in your boot. A high-visibility jacket kept inside the cabin, not in the boot. A first aid kit. Basic ones are inexpensive and could save a life. A torch with working batteries. A phone charger or power bank so you are never stranded without communication. And a tyre pressure gauge so you can check your tyres before long journeys. None of these items are expensive. Most of them cost very little. But together, they represent your safety, your legal compliance, and your peace of mind every time you get behind the wheel. There is also a broader point to make here about the culture of driving in the UK. Too many drivers treat the rules of the road as something that applies to other people. Too many people assume that because they have never been stopped before, they never will be. The reality is that enforcement is increasing. Technology is improving. Cameras are smarter, officers are better trained, and the public is increasingly reporting dangerous or illegal driving directly to the police via dashcam footage. The landscape has changed, and if your habits have not changed with it, you are taking a risk that simply is not worth taking. So there you have it, a full breakdown of the new road law guidance, the must-carry items that UK drivers need to have in their vehicles, and the fines you could be facing if you are caught without them. Knowledge is your best defence on the road. Share this video with someone you know who drives. It could save them £300, 6 points, or a whole lot worse. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more drivers who need this information. Drop a comment below letting me know if there is a specific road law or driving topic you want me to cover next. I read every single one. And most importantly, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. New videos go out regularly, covering everything that matters to UK drivers, and you do not want to be the last to know when the next big change comes. Stay safe, stay legal, and I will see you in the next one.